Hello, my darlings. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? I hope you're all doing well. It's been a hot minute. A lot of things have happened, a lot of things have gone down. How you guys been? Well, boys and girls, it's been a little while since I've been able to do a live stream, and I had to do one tonight because I'm going to need the content in order to clip it up and send it over to you know where I'm going to send it over to. From now on, I just want everyone to know I'm going to send all these streams to Hafez Reflex, and they will be available on playback there. I'm going to take all the live streams off playback here and put them up over there. So if you want to see this stream on a playback scenario, then yeah, got to go over there and check it out, because I just want to move everyone as much as possible that way. Just making a push, because I'll be honest, I think this channel is kind of burnt. So yeah, for now we're here, we're gonna talk, but if you want to watch it again, go over to Hafez Reflex and subscribe, and yeah, things will be there. Anyway, the other thing is also remember to like and subscribe this or well, not subscribe, it doesn't really matter, but like this video, so hopefully the algorithm will push it forward a little bit, but certainly like and subscribe it on the replay, where it will be on Hafez Reflex, and that will be where we will do things. Okay, so what are we talking about tonight, kids? How you been? How's things? Well, actually, strictly speaking, I did do another live stream on Sunday, because I was at Speaker's Corner on Sunday, and I did partake in a little bit of Speaker's Corner live streaming there. Come to think of it, yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. I did that, and so yeah. You guys, I think I saw a bunch of you guys, the usuals, in the chat. So you guys showed up, and it was, yeah, let women speak. So it's been a hot minute, and there's been a lot of things that have happened during that time. So we're going to try and get into some of those things. Certainly, I'm going to try and get into the Pearly issue, and I did speak about on my last stream anyway about Posey Parker and her shall we say uncouth attack on in New Zealand, but those videos actually will now only be available on yeah, I'm going to change those right now. In fact, that reminded me. I'm going to change those, and they will only be available on Hafez Reflex and for playback, which will also be this, which, you know, we'll have this one as well. In fact, I'm going to put a bunch of these videos that I have onto private, and then ultimately delete from Banksy's channel, so that way you guys go over, and I have to do something, man. You guys are lazy as fuck. And in order for me to drag you kicking and screaming over to the other side, I have to do something to grab you guys and pull you over there. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, you can actually see I've already uploaded the Let Women Speak one, and then I'll also upload the Speaker's Corner Turf's conversation, which I misspelled turf. Well, actually, I didn't. My phone also corrected the misspelling of turf to the actual spelling of turf when I wrote it in my thing. Big up, Shavitz, and I know I'm up against some big competition tonight, because Veli's now live as well. I'm not even sure I should say that. Maybe that's gonna go against me. But yeah, there's a lot of people. Big up, Jack. Jump in, replace Sarah. Sarah Banksy. He's missed a good thing. To be honest, I would more than happily do it, but I just don't think I've got enough clout. I've got enough sort of, you know, internet clout in order to get Pearl's interest. I'm not joking. I would do it. But the thing is, I can't right now on my situation. I can't commit to 4 7 hour days at Pearl's thing. I can do a Saturday and a Sunday, but I can't do a Friday or 2 other days. 4 days, 7 hours. That's practically a full-time job. I actually have a full-time job. I can't do a full-time job when I have a full-time job. I can do maybe 3 days a week, one weekday and Saturday and Sunday. But that would literally occupy my entire Saturday and Sunday, and it, until if I make enough money from my whatever deal I end up getting. I mean, let's be honest, Pearl isn't going to give me a 30-70 deal with my efforts. He's going to give me like a 5%, 5.95, some crazy shit like that. I'm not going to get any kind of deal that I can make a living out of. I mean, I don't think so. So I'm in a different position financially. I can't just quit my job and go and work for Pearl on a basis of, I don't know what, 10%, because I doubt I'm going to get 20-30% out of that split. So what, a 10% split? That's I don't know. I need to be able to make a living, an actual decent living out of it. I'm not retired like Aunt Jenny, or I don't know, claiming benefits like King Richards. Oh, that one's gonna come back to bite me in the ass, I'm sure. But anyway, so yeah, guys and girls, for now we're just gonna do our thing, part time, full time, whatever. Just a little side hustle of YouTube, and see how that goes. But for now, yeah, go to Hafez Reflects and see what we get there. But where are we? What are we doing? Okay, the first things first. Yeah, we're gonna definitely discuss Sarah Garvey's thing. But just before I get into Sarah Garvey's thing, I want to play a little bit of this, and also I want you guys to I want to talk about Donald Trump's impeachment. Not impeachment. Sorry, he's actually been indictment. He's been brought up on criminal charges. So yeah, let's play a little bit of Mark Dice. You guys may or may not know Mark Dice, depending on how based you are. But he's a political commentator, comedian on YouTube, and he's let's be honest, throughout his career on YouTube, he's done some fucking stellar work. I mean, he's been talking about things like Operation Mockingbird and MK Ultra long before anyone, even to this very day, I don't see anyone having the balls to talk about Operation Mockingbird and how the CIA took over the mainstream media in the United States. But anyway, that's aside. Let's see what Mr. Dice has to say about Donald Trump, and also he'll kind of give me my intro.
Usually only seen in third world countries with territory, the uncharted authority. Yesterday, the Democrats crossed the line and we're now in uncharted authoritarian territory, the likes of which is usually only seen in third world countries, with the arrest of President Trump for not using campaign finance funds to pay for a personal matter. That's what this entire thing revolves around. And now that Fat Alvin, the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, has unsealed the indictment and released and published the details of what exactly the trumped-up charges are, no pun intended.
Yeah, I have to intervene because it's meant to be a commentary, but it's not really a commentary on Mark Dice, but it is on what he's saying in regards to the charges. And the charges are frivolous at best. They would have never really gone this far if it wasn't a political witch hunt. It would have simply been a non-issue, because to actually prove what he's trying to prove is ridiculous. And these 34 charges, by the way, are nothing of the sort. They are literally the one charge of paying off that I don't know, porn star, prostitute woman, $100 and some odd $1,000 in installments of $30 odd $1,000. I think it was. It's just like 34 installments. He literally paid off a prostitute to keep quiet on credit. Donald Trump he did a hire purchase of hush money to a prostitute. I mean, you gotta love the way these people do business. He paid off hush money in installments. Who the hell does that? YouTube is bloody thankless. You can go a few more times, see where it ends. Well, Jack, yeah, I mean, it is extremely thankless. I agree with you. YouTube is just it's a hobby, really. If you do it for anything else, I think it's too much. But I like it. I like my streams, and I've also started a bunch of other channels which are kind of missing hit and miss right now. I don't know how. I just like making content and ranting. I'll be honest. I just want to rant. That's really it. And I can't be asked to do it on other people's channels. Other people's streams have limitations of what you can and can't say. So this is my place, my home, my house. So I can just say what I want to say. You know how it feels like, Jacko. Jacko, why don't you go for pearls? Actually, no, none of you guys want to put your face out there, which is kind of hard. But anyway, back to Donald Trump. Yeah, this is bullshit. This is just straight up nonsense. This is nonsensical crap. None of this would have ever made it to court if it was any other scenario, and if it wasn't a political witch hunt. It's a political witch hunt. It's disgraceful the way America is behaving, because Russia and China are making some serious moves. I mean, I don't know, amongst all of this nonsense that you guys are talking, that you guys, have been inundated with, I'm sure, or generally in the mainstream media is inundating people with, you do realize that China broke a deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Iran and Saudi Arabia are now partners with China, Russia, Brazil, India. I mean, they're basically China is trying to bring in Saudi Arabia and Iran into the BRICS nations. In fact, hold on. I actually uploaded a video just recently onto Pixeltrix, which is the new place for Speakers Corner Online, by the way, which is the new home of Speakers Corner Online. Let me pop that up here, actually, for those of you to have a look. See, can you guys see this? Yeah, you guys can see it. Yeah. This is what's happening. Hold on, let me unmute. This is what's actually happening in the world, whilst everyone else is being inundated with morons like Bud Light's new trans advertiser or whatever, Dylan Mulvaney, and all these other nonsensical shit. The world is doing, the Chinese and the Russians are doing this.
Saudi Arabia is moving away from the dollar. Their great escape has officially begun. Now, we've probably heard of this 1,000 times, that the Saudis are breaking away from America, but things are moving really fast. The kingdom has joined the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or the SEO, and that is a China-led economic and security bloc. They are now a dialogue partner, which is the first step towards full membership. And this is a shift that Riyadh is making. They are shifting towards the east.
This is what's happening, people. The unheard of, the thing that was supposed to be unheard of, that Saudi Arabia is now moving away from the dollar as the form, currency of exchanging or selling their oil in. This is happening. The petrodollar, according to the book, The Confessions of an Economic Hitman, the petrodollar was considered and is considered America's national security issue. That means if the United States, if anyone threatens the petrodollar, the United States will go to war with them. Open warfare. They did it in Libya. They did it in Iraq. What's going to happen here? This is China, potentially Russia. Well, Russia has already moved away from the petrodollar because they can't sell their oil in any in the dollar. So they had to sell it in their rubles, and they showed that they can survive and they can do this. This is the most serious issue in a generation, in decades, since the Cold War. I would say this is the next biggest serious issue. If America loses its place as the reserve currency, if the dollar loses its place as the reserve currency, you guys think that the pound, the euro won't be affected? They're gonna go down with that same ship. They're not safe. We're not safe. Where do you think you live? Look around you and tell me where you're at. Unless you're in Russia, Saudi Arabia, or Iran, or China, you're in the shit. Because most of us are in Europe. I know what the fuck I am. And I'm in Europe. We're in the shit. The petrodollar is dead. Long live the petro yuan. Yeah, NPC, you say that. But what do you think is going to happen to your quality of life? What do you think is going to happen to the status of your fucking existence in Europe? Dude, this is serious shit. I like Britain. I like living here. I don't really want to go to China. I sure as shit don't want to move to Iran. And I fucking don't want to live in Saudi Arabia either. And hell no, I'm not moving to Russia. You know how fucking cold it is in Russia? You think I've got problems? I got fucking arthritis in Britain. My fucking joints hurt because of British shitty wet rainy weather. You think I'm gonna survive in the fucking Siberian fucking cold of Siberia in Russia? You think I'm gonna survive in Moscow? Hell no. Fuck that. I want to move to somewhere sunny. I want tropical weather. I want to move to shittier, colder countries, and I can't survive in fucking Saudi. You seen the shit that I've said about Muhammad? I'm going to survive in Saudi?
And the Saudi knows that trading with the West is a dangerous affair and their economic future lies in Asia. It lies with Russia, it lies with China and India. And the signs were all building up to this, and the world shouldn't be shocked. You had President Xi traveling to Saudi Arabia in December, and unlike Biden, he didn't get a fist bump but a royal welcome from MBS himself. Then we had China brokering a peace deal between the kingdom and Iran. Two historical rivals are now resuming diplomatic talks with each other.
Look at this. Iran and Saudi Arabia agreed to resume diplomatic relations in a deal brokered by China, ending 7 years of estrangement. This isn't 7 years of estrangement. This is 1400 years of religious differences. The Shiites and the Sunnis have been at each other's throats for 1300 years, and now China has brought that shit together. They put 1300 years of feud aside for Chinese diplomatic business sort of dealings with the Chinese. Can you believe this shit? This is unprecedented. Why isn't this every fucking day on CNN? This is serious shit, people, because you do know that there's a war coming. America is going to start a war, a big one, to make sure that the petrodollar remains the reserve currency. They're not just going to let this one go. NPC, when you say the petrodollar is dead, long live the petro yuan, they're not going to just let that happen. That's not something they're just going to casually allow. There's a war coming, people. And most of you are going to be on that fucking front line. If we go by the Ukrainian model, 16 to 60 are the ones who are going to be drafted. I am smack bang in that fucking zone. Me, my brothers. Yeah, I don't want them to fucking die in some bullshit petrodollar war. I honestly don't. I don't want to die in some bullshit petrodollar war. But it's coming. I'm not joking. A war is coming, guys. Don't think for 1 second America is going to let this shit slide.
Plus, Russia is also paving the way to restore ties between the Saudis and the Syrians. The agenda is obvious. Let's help the Middle East move towards lasting peace and let them focus more on their economy. And we are seeing a strategy by the Chinese, by the Russians, to shift the global order eastwards. And the best way to do this is to win over the Saudis and OPEC. If you can get the biggest oil producers in an economic bloc, that is enough to challenge Western hegemony. An oil alliance between Russia, China, and Saudi Arabia would control nearly...
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I'm going to make this full screen so you guys can see. Note this shit. This is serious fucking matters. Guys, we're in the shit here. These countries uniting is going to fucking top America's production. This is not, and by the way, he's highlighted Saudi Arabia, Russia, and China. He hasn't even included Iran and Brazil. which Brazil is already part of the BRICS nation. I guess India doesn't really have any kind of oil reserves as we know of, so they're not included in this. But this is just China, Russia, and Saudi Arabia, and it's enough to to top in fact double almost America's production. This is serious, people. This shit is for real.
30% of global production, and that is more than American and Canadian production combined. But why is Saudi Arabia breaking away from the United States? America is still the kingdom's main security partner, and just in 2022 alone, Biden approved over $3 billion worth of arms sales to the Saudis. However, even that is slipping. There are now calls from Congress to halt US weapons support to the kingdom based on human rights concerns.
Look at the guy he chuckles when he goes, "This is wokeness. This is wokeness for you." By the way, it's also the woke who don't want to carry on using fossil fuels anyway. It's that woke agenda, that net zero bullshit that is pushing behind a lot of this as well. Because they're the fucking tree huggers are the ones who are complaining about we're using too much oil. It's the Greta Thunbergs that don't want us to use oil anyway. So these guys are all shifting their productions. Saudis know that Europe and America are going fucking woke and green and all that bullshit. So what are they going to do? They're going to concentrate their wealth in countries where they are actually going to carry on using their product, which is China and effectively Eastern Bloc, or the Eastern Bloc, East Asian countries, because they're not fucking insane. They haven't gone insane with net zero. They still got their heads firmly on their shoulders.
US weapons support to the kingdom based on human rights concerns, with a senator saying US weapons don't belong in the hands of human rights abusers, and they are proposing a resolution that could cut off security assistance.
You just remember the expression, go woke, get broke. Just remember that when you're trying to fucking wrestle an egg or a tomato out of the next guy's hand in the supermarket, when you're trying to fucking use your Krav Maga and your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to get a pack of fucking 6 eggs.
To the kingdom.
I'm not gonna joke with you guys. If I see any of you motherfuckers in the egg aisle at your local supermarket and it's the last box, I'm choking the motherfucker out. Okay, straight up, I'm going for the choke. No arm bars, no leg locks, nothing. I'm going straight for the choke. Either I knock you the fuck out or I choke you the fuck out. But those eggs are mine.
Congress could end their arms sales, so the other shoe could be dropping very soon. And that is why Saudi Arabia is moving to the east. But this security issue is just the tip of the iceberg. We need to dig deeper, guys. The real worry Riyadh has revolves around their oil revenues. They need to secure their economic interests. And this brings us to the two biggest threats facing Saudi Arabia's oil. And this goes beyond just sanctioning away US treasuries or dollar-denominated assets. Every country is worried about that for sure, but we are talking about threats unique to Saudi Arabia. And the first is the price caps on oil. Now, if the G7, they can impose the price caps on Russian oil, it can also happen to Saudi Arabia. And the reasoning will be different for sure.
The G7 seeks 2 price caps for Russian oil products. This is why the Saudis are like, fuck that. Fuck these woke pricks. We're moving the fuck away. And guess look at these flags. Look at these. The most wokest motherfuckers on the planet are in this page. I mean, I don't know about the Chinese, Japanese. They're a little bit more based. But look at this. European Union, the United States, United Kingdom, Japan, Italy, France, Canada, Germany. Straight up the most cockholded countries on the planet right now. Straight up. Just cockhold, woke, how dare you, Greta Thunberg, morons. You're just giving away your power to the fucking Chinese. Fuck me.
But the effects will still be the same. What if the world's richest countries, the G7, comes together and says, we won't buy your oil unless it is at a price that we like? And if the Saudis aren't diversified away from customers in the West, they will be in big trouble. And we can see that back in 2020, Saudi Arabia still supplies a lot of oil to the Western world and the G7, 15% to Japan, 10% to Europe, and around 7% to the United States. That's almost a third of the oil supply that can be subjected to sanctions and price caps. Even though Saudi Arabia supplies a ton of oil to India and China, it still isn't nearly enough. Their revenues could take a bigger hit, and that's why they are moving eastwards. They want to reduce their dependence on G7 money. But it gets worse. The US Congress has also reintroduced the infamous NOPEC bill back into the spotlight. Now, if passed, this could allow America to take action on OPEC's oil.
Look at this. The bipartisan NOPEC bill would tweak US interests law anyway, to revoke the sovereign immunity that has protected OPEC Plus members and their national oil companies from lawsuits. You guys, these people are literally trying to fucking just drive us to fucking the pauper's house. If signed into law, the U.S. Attorney General would gain the option to sue the oil cartel or its members, such as Saudi Arabia, in federal court. Like, Saudi Arabia is going to give a shit about your courts. They're not going to fucking sit around and worry about, oh my fucking Lord. Oh Lord Almighty. These people think Saudi Arabia is just going to fucking rock up to fucking American courts, and they think Saudis are like Zuckerberg. They think Saudis are like the social media companies where they can cuckold them and bring them in front of senator or whatever and wag their fingers at them and give them some fucking talking to. And they're going to get cuckolded like Zuckerberg or the Google guy or I don't know, whoever the fuck, Jack Dorsey before Elon Musk. By the way, you notice Elon Musk hasn't sat in front of Congress or Senate or any shit like that since he took over. They haven't called him up because I think he would fuck them up in those meetings. I don't think Elon Musk is going to sit like Zuckerberg and be all robotic, that fucking alien face of his that he's got. I think Musk will behave very differently in front of those senators, and he's gonna put some shit on them, whilst. And he's already been doing that with the Twitter files. And you would have thought with those Twitter files being released, they would have dragged Elon Musk in front of some kind of bullshit meeting. But they, I haven't noticed. I haven't seen Elon Musk being dragged in front of any committees yet. But they think the Saudis are going to cuckold like Zuckerberg. They think the Saudis are like the Zuckerbergs and the YouTube, the guys who run Google or whatever. That they can just like bring them before senator and wag their some kind of committee and wag their fucking fingers. Saudis don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck about what some pissant senator in America thinks about them, or whether they think about their human rights record being good or not. They're going to fucking diversify. They're going to go over to the east. They're going to start selling their oil in yuan, and they're going to fucking collapse the dollar. That's what they're going to do. You think you're going to pull up the fucking Saudi oil sheikhs or the Saudi royal family in front of some pissant fucking senator? Some AOC to sit there and fucking lecture them? These fuckers don't really know what side their bread is buttered. They don't really know who they're fucking. They say fuck around, find out. This is on a global level. America is fucking around, and they're gonna find out. Especially these woke fucking piss weak senators and congressmen and women or whoever. Congress people. Some of them might be trans. Who knows?
Oil companies on the basis of being a monopoly. It revokes the sovereign immunity that has protected OPEC Plus members, and that is disastrous. Saudi Arabia, of course, is having none of this. They have slammed the NOPEC bill and told the world that they aren't selling oil to any countries that imposes price caps, which kind of sounds very similar to Russia's position. And I hope this crystallizes the reasons why Saudi Arabia has almost no choice but to pivot to Asia. There's nothing left in the West except for threats and sanctions to get the price that they want. So what is on offer with the SCO? Why is Saudi Arabia choosing to join the bloc? And this is where we have to break down what the SCO is all about. Now, if we look at the member states, and especially on the world map, we can see it essentially includes the entire of Asia except the southeast. We have Russia, China, India, and Uzbekistan in the group, and even Iran is also joining the SCO very soon. And that's why brokering peace between the Saudis and the Iranians was so important. And if we look at the other dialogue partners, there are even more countries in the Middle East, including Qatar and Turkey. The majority of the SCO are developing countries that need oil to power their economies. And to Saudi Arabia, that is like hitting the jackpot, finding a treasure trove of customers outside of the West, and more importantly, that aren't allies of the United States. Now, MBS, he has a plan for Saudi Arabia, and it is captured in his Vision 2030 agenda. It is all about diversifying their economy away from oil and integrating themselves with the rest of the world. And this is where the SCO comes in. The group accounts for 40% of the world's population and over 30% of global GDP outside of the West, plus the Belt Road Initiative, the BRI, actually runs through the heart of the SCO, connecting Asia, the Middle East, and Europe together. And we're talking about 149 countries with trade totaling over $1.7 trillion done just with China alone.
Guys, get your shit together, get your affairs together, get a bug out bag, make sure you know where your passport is, and make sure that it is fucking up to date. Because your shit could go south very quickly and you may have to move real fast. Just telling you, man, be prepared, be prepared. Fucking ego scout shit. Anyway, I'm gonna move away from this. This is a 15-minute video. I've only played 5 minutes of it so far, and I've also ranted way too much. But if you guys want to watch this, go to Speakers Corner. Go to Pixeltrix site, the Pixeltrix website, pixeltrix.com, and find my channel or my I don't know, I guess channel or whatever it is on there, and you can see it. I posted it under my banner. It's also available, of course, on YouTube as well. Saudi Arabia just scored a knockout blow to the US dollar. So yeah. Seriously though, this should be a global fucking news on everyone's fucking front page right now. If you're not paying attention to this, I don't know what the fuck you're paying attention to, because this is what you should be paying attention to. This is serious. Now, I'm going to pivot to some unimportant bullshit that doesn't actually affect your lives in any shape or form, but it's just pure gossip. And that is the Sarah Garvey and Just Pearly Things incident. And the reason I'm really even giving this any airtime is because of the simple fact that I've been on the show. I've met both Pearl and Sarah, and generally I think they're both pretty decent people. And this whole thing is a little bit of a nothing burger, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not really. It's literally a nothing burger. But it seems that, you know, you fuckers all love drama. You all fucking love drama. So let's just cover the drama. Now, I would like everyone to pay attention to this section, because I also would like you to do the same, what Sarah Garvey says.
2 or more of our videos.
Hold on.
Before we even get started,
Tell them.
if you have watched 2 or more of our videos and you have not subscribed, then we have what, pal?
Beef.
What do we have?
Beef.
Exactly. So you better get doing that right now. Before
Tell
we
'em.
even get started. All right?
Okay, did you hear that? That's right. That's right. If you watch 2 or more of my videos and you're not subscribed, I'm going to come and I'm going to tickle you. No, I don't really give a shit. But yeah, subscribe. Do that. But do it to Hafez Reflex. Remember, Hafez Reflex. Hafez Reflex. Great poet of the Persian era. And also, by the way, the term Hafez is also expressed amongst the Muslim world as those who remember the Quran. Anyway, we have beef. Well, we have beef bourguignon and some nice sautéed potatoes and a nice onion de jour. That's what we have. If we're going to have beef, that is. Okay, this is Sarah having
Beef.
Exactly. So you better get doing that
Yes.
right now. Over to you, pal.
I'm making this video today
that I didn't initially want to make. But there comes a time when we're all at a crossroad and have to make a decision. And sometimes that decision can affect you morally, it can affect you spiritually, and it can affect you financially. But it's a decision that we can't shy away from. Now, recently, Just Pearly Things has been caught up in some controversy. Why? She has interviewed avid racist and known racist Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, as you all know, Sarah Garvey used to work with Pearl. He in fact kind of gave her a huge amount of boost through his channel, which had tens of thousands of, I think about 20, 30,000 subscribers at the time, maybe 40. And Sarah Garvey has been doing this for several years. I mean, we're talking, I at least remember it from 2017, 18. So he's had his channel sort of stagnate in that 30, 40,000 subscriber count for a long time. And all of a sudden, he, started boosting Pearl. Obviously, Pearl paid him. And yeah, she started to launch her pod, Fresh and Fit style podcast YouTube channel, and we all know it caught fire, and the damn thing has just gone through the roof. In fact, it has blown way, that's completely past Sarah Garvey, left him in the dust. And I think Sarah's a little salty about that. Just listen out for a little bit of salt in this, I would say.
He is also an anti-Semite. What did Pearl do when she interviewed him? What she done is that she laughed with him and seems to agree with a lot of his points.
Talk about instances of like when they initially freed the slaves, there were some slaves that felt so indebted to their owners that they would travel across states to pay them back, and they actually had a really good relationship with them.
Now, if she had said some of these things about the Jewish community, she would have been cancelled in a hot minute. Ask Kyrie Irving. Ask Kanye West. Now, this isn't about the Jewish community. This is about us. Okay? And so after that interview, Pearl decided to make an apology video, which was, in my personal point of view, disingenuous and a PR stunt. And all in all, it came from a place of deception.
Guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. And, I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from.
And that's exactly what I made the point of as well, is that, not every interview has to be a hot lamp, interrogation, Guantanamo Bay waterboarding. Sometimes you can just sit and let people talk. Now, there is an expression that say, give those people enough rope to hang themselves with. It seems as a concept that doesn't jive with people who want to be selectively outraged. And this is something actually it's quite interesting that recently Chris Rock did a stand-up called Selective Outrage, because it seems that the black community now, I gotta address this as well. There's a whole bunch of people going around talking about that there is a black manosphere. There was no such thing as a black manosphere ever. This is some work of fiction that people have now come to sort of create for themselves. There is just the manosphere. There was no black or white or Chinese manosphere. It was just the manosphere, where men talked about talked about their issues, dating issues, etc., etc. But for some reason, there is now a black manosphere, apparently, which is shocking to me. But yeah, this is what I want to see. It says Chris Rock, Selective Outrage. selective outrage. To me, a lot of this Pearly shit is exactly that. This is selective outrage. When it comes to Joe Rogan interviewing a bunch of people, or even Kanye West, who had Alex Jones, who had Kanye West and Nick Fuentes on his show. Tim Pool had Kanye West, Nick Fuentes, and Milo Yiannopoulos on their shows. Admittedly, he wasn't on that show that long, so I guess you can't really say a lot about that. Kanye just sort of walked out of that one. But, when Kanye sat on Alex Jones and started spouting all the anti-Semitic shit, there was no outrage from the black community. Black community was surprisingly silent on that one. I guess it doesn't matter if Kanye or Ye just runs his mouth on a whole bunch of anti-Semitic shit. But it matters if Pearl doesn't, hold Nick Fuentes down and waterboard him on live stream in order to make sure that she's, very well, drives the point home that she's pushing back. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Look, sometimes you just give people enough rope and they'll hang themselves, and let the chips fall where they may. You don't have to have a hot lamp waterboarding session every time you interview someone that you disagree with. It is what it is.
In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was, because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about.
No, the problem is, Pearl, you can't feign ignorance when, number one, you chimed in with your own comments about fucking Roots and how, the creator of Roots wanted to have a myth for the black people. I mean, these were your own fucking chime-ins and opinions. People are not, holding you accountable for the shit Fuentes said, and you didn't push back enough. Some people are saying bullshit like that, but I don't even care about that. The stuff that you said is the ones that are going to fucking hold you accountable to. You said some stuff which may or may not be true. It may be that the person who created Roots wanted to exaggerate the atrocities and the cruelties of the slave era, but you said those things. And if you were ignorant about it, if you were ignorant about the atrocities, and you don't know how utterly brutal the transatlantic slave era was, then you should shut the fuck up. You're like, I don't know. You literally are happy to say, I don't know, I'm not ignorant, I'm an ignorant little ginger girl when it suits you, but you're the one who started chiming in about that shit. Why do you have to throw in that your own 2 cents in agreement with Nick Fuentes? Look, I'm not saying you have to waterboard a person every time you interview them, but what I will say is that if I don't agree with someone, I'm not going to say anything positive to sort of kind of chime in with a positive take on what they said. If I don't agree with them, I'll just say, well, I don't really agree with that, but moving on or whatever. But you chimed in. People are somewhat holding you accountable to those things as well. They're not just holding you accountable because you didn't push back against Fuentes, but you kind of chimed in with a sort of positive, agreeable take on some of the things, which I think, I don't know, maybe it's warranted. I think this whole thing is a nothing burger anyway. I mean, by the way, I just want to make sure everyone knows, I think this is utterly bullshit. Unimportant. The shit that I showed you at the beginning of this stream was the shit you should pay attention to. The rest of this is effectively brain cancer that I'm giving you. But I had to sit through this shit, so now you have to sit through this shit. In fact, this stream is no longer just a stream for entertainment, but it's in fact a punishment for the fact that I had to listen to this bullshit, and now I'm forcing you to do it. So come on this fucking hell gondola ride with me. As, by the way, a very clever girl, oh man, I forgot her name. Oh shit, I forgot her name. This Australian girl, she's a big YouTuber as well. She says it all the time. My hell gondola. Welcome to hell. Oh, I forgot what her name is. I'll try and find it later.
Now, I've been on social media for a while, and I have done interviews with the likes of Tommy Robinson, Sargon of Akkad, politicians like Lee Jasper, and also Lin May and people from the music industry like So Solid, Mega Man to be exact. Now, Pearl was reacting to my content prior to coming to the UK. And so when she came to the UK, I was very interested in the content that she would actually put out. And it just so happened that she was putting out content that I was interested in, similar to what the late great Kevin Samuels actually put out. And I understand it because I myself had been embroiled in court cases and things of that nature when it comes to the mother of my son, and understand that the gynocentric order in which we live in is something that needs to be spoken about. So when she came to London, she said that she wanted to make a podcast, and I said, no problem. Okay, let's talk about it. And I decided to feature on her show. Now, when I featured on her show, because of my following in the UK, people would tune in. So essentially, I helped Pearl grow her channel.
Yeah, I mean, that's very much the case. I mean, I think Sarah was instrumental in Pearl's success. It's undeniable, and I think Pearl herself would admit that. And I don't know whether this whole thing is a charade that's been set up in order to gain, obviously clicks and tweet, response videos like I'm doing now. I'm doing a response video to this bullshit. If that was the game, these guys play the game very well. They know how the algorithm works. They know that out of this little drama, both Pearl and Sarah are going to be searched a dozen times, and they're going to have videos with their names attached to it constantly. Admittedly, I didn't put my name in. I didn't put Sarah Garvey's name in any of the descriptions of this video, just Pearl's, but you know what I mean. So yeah. This could be a game. This could be part of the game, or it could be real. I honestly don't know anymore. Nowadays, so many people are fake, and they do so much fake bullshit. You just don't know.
Okay, I was on there week to week, and I was working with her based on a fee. So the tragic death of...
Okay, you see, Sarah didn't do this for free. I guess maybe this is why Pearl isn't particularly, like, oh, I owe Sarah so much because he kind of launched my YouTube career, which is kind of true. But I guess she's thinking, well, I paid him to launch my YouTube career. He's my paid employee that I paid to help me become successful in my business. It's like going to a job. I don't go to my job every day and do my work and make my company money or make my company succeed and then afterwards expect my boss to come and go, thank you so much for making my company better. It's because of you. I owe you everything. No, you fucking employed me. My job was to make your company better. That was the deal. You pay me money and I will help you improve your services in your company or run the services in your company more efficiently. You don't owe me anything. What you owed me, you already paid me. And in a weird way, this is what it is in this situation. I mean, I'm surprised someone like Sarah, who considers himself a capitalist, I don't think he's a socialist, would be surprised that Pearl doesn't feel that, she's not begging him for adulation or crawling to his feet, because he paid you and you did your job. Well done. Congratulations. You did what you were paid for. And by the way, the lady who is awesome, and you should check her out if you haven't already, who says the line of my welcome to hell and let's go on a hell, let's go for a ride on my hell gondola, is Sydney Watson. Sydney Watson is incredibly smart and very funny. I actually like her content a lot. So, shout out to Sydney. I'm going to still use your little comedic line. Go ahead, Sarah. Tell us about how you basically got paid to do your job.
Kevin Samuels happened, and there was a vacuum within the manosphere space. who was it going to be filled by? It was actually filled by...
But was it a vacuum in the manosphere or the black manosphere? Because it seems that there is such a phenomenon now as the black manosphere. As always, black people have to somehow segregate themselves from what is essentially a universal issue with all men. Black men don't particularly face a worser issue than white men. We all have divorce court fucking problems. We all face dating issues and the problems with modern feminists. And yes, admittedly, Kevin Samuels focused on solving the issues within the black community, starting with single mothers. But this wasn't some specifically black issue. This is a male issue. But okay, carry on.
Just Pearly Things along with other content creators. Now, I believe that the reason why this space was filled is because Kevin Samuels had a large following of black men. And these black men were essentially fed up with the way feminism had taken over their community, specifically their women. So when he died, there was a vacuum and a lot of black men looking for content like this. And it was filled by Pearl. And I believe that Pearl rose to fame because she herself was the opposite of what those men had been seeing. She was a white woman. She wasn't the types of women that they had been seeing. And essentially, she was regurgitating Kevin Samuels' content.
I just want to just straight up. Yeah, he's right in this regards. Also, yeah, just a quick point. I think Victoria West, you wrote, personally, he also sees numbers that pushing back, not liking Pearl. He just sees dollars from the disgruntled. He sees dollars from the disgruntled. Here and in America, yes, you're right in that regards, but he's also knows. I mean, when I first saw this video, when this video was first uploaded, I think he was under 100,000 subscribers. It was like he was in the 90 something, and now he's 106,000. So this isn't, by no stretch of the imagination improved and boosted his channel. So this whole drama, whether good or bad, whether in the long run Sara is gonna lose money out of this, he's given him that over 100,000. He's taken him across the 100,000 mark, because when you're over 100,000 people on YouTube, you are actually considered a serious top tier YouTuber. You in fact get a little plaque and everything for it. So he's crossed that threshold now, and he'll probably get like a call from YouTube, and YouTube will assign a person, an age. They assign someone to you to deal with your YouTube issues and stuff. So it still worked out for him. The whole Pearl association has worked out for him, but I think you're right. He's not going to make the 1 million heights that Pearl reached without Pearl's help, because he doesn't have the work ethic that Pearl has, and he doesn't have the upload levels that Pearl has with her production team. Not because Pearl uploads that many videos, because her production team, her editors, upload that many videos a day. I mean, they upload, like, I have estimated at least 30 to 40 videos a day, if not minimum 20 videos a day. I have never seen Pearl upload less than 20 videos a day from the Pearly Things channel, plus Pearly Clips, plus Pearly Talk, and the other shit that they have, plus Aunt Jenny and King Riches. They literally upload, 30 odd videos a day each channel. Now, I don't think Sara uploads even 5 a week. So yeah, the actual production rate of content that comes out of Pearls is astronomical, and Sara would have benefited from that. And I think before the year is out, King Richie's and Aunt Jenny will surpass Sara's 100,000 subscribers. And that's where Sara's going to realize he screwed up. When those two absolute almost nobodies who've, I mean, I don't know about that. King Richard says he's been doing YouTube for a while, but Aunt Jenny came out of nothing. Zero. Like, she doesn't even know what the fuck how to upload a video on YouTube. I bet she doesn't even know how to make a YouTube channel. So this is Aunt Jenny's is purely coming out of the Pearly Thing network. She's literally from zero. She's a 40k now. I guarantee you she'll be over 100k before the year's out. She'll probably surpass Sarah before the year is out. Sarah's been at this 5-6 years at least, and with the same channel, and he's just barely made it over 100. So yeah, I think Sarah should have taken Pearl's deal, which we're going to come to in a minute.
So I began working with Pearl, and from the beginning, I started to think that maybe this girl has.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna speed this up a little bit because, frankly, I need to sleep at some point, and this is just boring. So I'm gonna go 175 here.
A colonial mindset. Now, we all know that we don't want to be paranoid, so I kept working with her. However, the more I worked with her, is the more that I saw. She had a...
Okay. Let me just... I know I keep stopping this shit, but a colonial mindset. I mean, are you honestly going... What the fuck would she be thinking? Is she sitting back going, okay, I'm white. Let's see how I can get these N-words to do my bidding once again. Is she some kind of Southern belle? Oh, gosh, dear Mr. Beauregard, can we get these N-words to pick the cotton a little faster? I mean, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, what century is this? She had a colonial mindset. This is like Wakanda forever. This is the way they called that CIA agent colonizer the whole time. Who speaks like that? Who the fuck speaks like that? I mean, I don't know anyone in the real world who's referred to any white person as a colonizer or the colonial mindset. Honestly, this is bullshit. Straight up, just bollocks.
Colonial type viewpoint when it came to black people. And I had to school her a few times on what it was like to be black and the black experience, and also what slavery and colonization was actually like.
Do you think that historical catastrophes must be compensated for?
No.
No.
That's stupid.
So then, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
Yeah.
So then, how come there were groups of people that got compensation then?
How come?
For instance, like Jewish people, Chinese people, Japanese.
These people didn't get compensation because of colonization, number one. Indians never got reparations for it. So it's kind of convenient that the Indians get left out of this whole reparation thing for colonization. The Jews and the Japanese got reparations for Second World War atrocities. The Jews claimed it off the Germans, and the Japanese claimed it off the Americans. But this was for Second World War stuff. People are literally still alive that were in Auschwitz, that were in the camps, in Japanese people who were in the camps in America, and Jewish people who were in Auschwitz. They are literally still alive. They're literally still alive. So yes, compensation to that, to those people, is fairly straightforward. Were you in Auschwitz? Yes. Here's some money. Did we put your family or you in a Japanese internment camp in America? Yes. Here's some money. Who are you gonna go and ask and find out whether they were a slave or not? Because none of you fuckers are alive were ever enslaved. You have to go back generations to find whoever the fuck it was that was taken over to America as a slave to get the reparations, and the chances of proving that to be true are minuscule at best. A handful of people would really be able to truly prove that their ancestors were actual slaves. I saw a fucking video recently about it was a black guy whose ancestors it was a guy who thought his ancestors were Indian, Native Americans. Apparently they were not Native Americans, but he found Native Americans owned black slaves in that time. You guys go check this shit out. Now I'm already laboring. I'm already going. This stream is going way too long. There were Native Americans, Apaches and Sioux and all that shit, that had black African slaves in that period of time. Who is going to are the Sioux Nation Are the Apaches going to fucking give reparations to black people now? I mean, it seems they're not rushing. These so-called reparation hunters are not rushing to any reservations to try and get reparations from Native Americans. They're just going after the white man right now. Well, they're not going to get it out the Native Americans or the white man, but they're going after the white man. But nobody's chasing Native Americans for reparations, by the way. And they actually own slaves. I'm not joking. Go look it up. It was in a fucking documentary. It blew my mind. I was like, this is crazy. I never thought that was the case. Native Americans actually had slaves in the United States. So there you go. Who are you going to chase down for your reparations? That's the problem with this reparations for slavery bollocks.
Bonds, like there were groups of people who got compensated.
I don't know.
So it wasn't fair.
What? Well, I'm talking about like when I think about group, I think about reparations. So I mean, maybe if the people were still alive today, like I don't know, maybe. But like when you said historical, I thought you meant like at the past,
In the
not
past.
the present.
Yeah, so like in the past, so like people talk about slavery. So in the past, you know, the Holocaust happened. In the past, you know, Japanese, but people got compensated for it.
Yeah.
There's a book
Yes, but they were alive. They're literally alive today, and this weak piss woke fucking society folded and gave them reparations. I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, those people had documents. The Jewish people literally had documents of their houses that were taken off them, their businesses that was taken off them. So yeah, they wanted their shit back. This reparation, by the way, wasn't for some sort of nefarious or nebulous work that they may or may not have done. Okay, this was for documented shit as well. The fucking Germans took their gold teeth. There's a whole thing about them taking their gold bloody teeth. The reparations that the Jews and the Japanese got were for documented stuff. Their property that was taken from them. Not just the work that they did for no pay and try to calculate what fucking value would that have in the 21st century, given interest rates or whatever. You guys, there's all sorts of fucking crazy numbers banted about, billions and billions of dollars of what their labor would have been worth at minimum wage or not minimum wage. I don't know, just ridiculous shit like that. So I'm sorry, it's a different thing. You can't compare the reparations that the Jews and the Japanese got for the Second World War with the slaves. It's just not the same thing. It's apples and fucking baseballs. Not even apples and pears or orange and apples. It's apples and baseballs. Or I would say apples and an iPhone. Haha.
book, right, called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. And when you read that book, you realize that the whole Industrial Revolution and stuff like that was started because of the colonization. And you just think, well, if you didn't do that, then you wouldn't be as successful.
So what do you mean by the colonization?
So the colonization of Africa, so both the people and the resources.
No, nothing about Indians. How are the Indians? Are the Indians getting reparations? They got colonized too, you know. Wasn't just the Africans that got colonized, but you know, hey, well, clearly no one gives a shit about the Indians of the Indian subcontinent. I'm not talking about the ones with the feathers in their ass in the United States.
Right? There's a direct correlation between the colonization of Africa and the Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
And so with all the metals and the rubber and all this kind of stuff coming from Africa, it fueled the Industrial Revolution of the West.
Wait, so you're saying like in Africa, when you say colonize, you're saying like did England come in and colonize?
Yeah, like so you're in France, Spain, Portugal, England.
And they like enslaved Africans and that's what you're saying? Okay.
So they enslaved, at least colonized the continent.
Okay.
So when you colonize a continent and then you take ownership of the resources, you're able to gather those resources together and use them to your own benefit.
Right.
And so you gather those resources, use them to your own benefit and build up your economy, all the while messing up the economy of that actual country.
So that video was filmed in 2022. And in that video, what you saw was me attempting to tell Pearl and show Pearl what colonization was like. How people went to another group of people and took their resources and took what was theirs and built their empire off of it. So when Pearl...
Like every empire ever. Literally every empire ever. The Arabs, Persians, Romans... God knows what the hell the Ottomans and the Mongols did. They literally raped and pillaged their way through the world. Yeah, every empire ever. but the white ones are the ones who have to pay reparations, right? You're not even mentioning the sub-Saharan African, the sub-Saharan slave trade. No, none of that. The Arabs who took all those people, all those women, and they literally cut off the genitals of men, made them into eunuchs in order to guard the harems of the Arabs. No reparations for that though. Seems that part didn't register. I guess maybe that particular part of history was just skipped over, right? It seems funny how African Americans and Africans in general who talk about these things just sort of skip and a hop over that whole Arab eunuch creating slave trade that they started literally centuries before the transatlantic one. But hey, it's reparations for thee, not for them. Those guys are brown or something. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, everybody did it, dude. You're not special.
Now plays like she doesn't know what colonization is, and she doesn't know what slavery is, and she says these insensitive statements. In that video, I actually attempted to give her a book. It was called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. I've read it myself. She semi-dismissed that book. She kind of dismissed that book, and then she went on with herself to go and interview a man like Nick Fuentes. Pearl has Africans that work for her. Now, Nigeria has many issues. Now, the disparity in Nigeria has rich and poor people living just on the breadline. And Pearl has these types of people working for her. They edit her videos. They make her thumbnails.
So, look what I have here. This is evidence to show how hard my Americans work.
No, hold on. You forgot, yeah? This is how hard...
By the way, this was King Rich's and I guess one of the other guys. I thought this was actually sarcasm against Pearl, but no, this is just them, tongue in cheek. Having a bit of a laugh, I guess, over the comments that Pearl made with my Africans. But I mean, I get it. That's fine. I think this is Pearl is probably laughing her ass off at this one, but it is a bit ironic.
Working for her, they edit her videos. They make her thumbnails.
So look what I have here. This is evidence to show how hard my Americans work.
No, hold on. You forgot, yeah? This is how hard my white Americans work.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They're very hard workers. Yeah. I like how they work. My white Americans really work hard. You see that?
They inspire us to work harder.
No. Do you know what? They don't even inspire. They're working hard for themselves, bro.
By the way, this ginger white girl, no matter what you think of her, is currently employed at least 20 odd African Americans, Africans in general, Africans in Africa and Africans in Britain, and probably Africans in America as well. I don't know, but these people are all living very well, and I mean well. We're talking tens of thousands of pounds they make every month off the back of this white ginger girl who invested quite a fair chunk of money to begin with to get this whole thing kicked off. And you guys and these bitter, slightly salty black people who are upset with her are literally going to, if they actually succeed in taking her down, make all these black people unemployed. They would rather burn the whole house down than to, have Pearl make, I don't know, some stupid comments or stupid mistake regarding some sort of race issue. And all of these incredibly well-paid African individuals, black individuals, are going to, suffer for it. This is like, I swear to God, I don't know what this is. This is literally the case of cutting off your own nose to spite your face. They want fellow black Africans to be unemployed rather than have one white girl say some offhanded bollocks. I mean, I don't think Pearl's channel is going down in any way, but it's a kind of a lynching. It's kind of a witch hunt. It's a kind of circle the wagons and let's boycott Pearl type of a deal. And there are already other black content creators who say they don't want to work with Pearl anymore. They've cancelled a whole bunch of projects and videos that they were going to do because of all this, which is, again, it's kind of going to, have maybe some knock-on effects. I don't know.
Okay. They're putting in a lot of work, yeah? They put in a lot of work. My white Americans.
Your white Americans.
Work hard.
Yeah, you can.
So
Americans.
Pearl has taken people on from Africa, which on the surface looks like a good thing. And I guess it is. Africans are being fed. They're taking money from her. They are feeding their family.
They're doing
amazing. However, with a colonial mindset, this can be quite dangerous. And
this is it. She is literally gone with the wind. I mean, let me see if I can get this mofo image up. I mean, I don't think. Let me see if there's. Holy shit. You guys, I just typed Colonial Pearl, and there is actually a particular white color called Colonial Pearl. It's. Fuck me. Oh my god. I should have prepared this more. The problem is this one. I mean, I just get like things come at me halfway in the middle of a stream. They just sort of appear to me, and I sort of forget what I should or should not do. Effectively, I mean, I suppose this is as good as it gets. I'm just gonna go with this. This is what they think Pearl is. There she is, going, oh, Mr. Beauregard, could you please tell those N-words that I am trying to feed them? This is it. Actually, I found the better image. I got to Photoshop. Someone meme this for Pearl. Put Pearl's face on this. Someone meme this for Pearl. Stick Pearl's face right on this, and see. I am just trying to help these poor, downtrodden black folk. Oh man, I wish I could say the N-word. And they are just so unappreciative of what I'm trying to do for them. They don't realize how hard it is to run this mansion and those farms. I am simply vexed. I am simply vexed of these N-words not doing their fair share of work, and they're just trying to tear me down. oh man. Yeah, these men, man, Charles, are so sensitive. Evening, hello Moon, hello. Yeah man, yeah, if she was British, she would be classed as a rose. Yeah, but this must be how they see her. This must be Pearl now. I can't. I got to Photoshop. Like, I'm terrible at photoshopping things, and besides, I don't have time to Photoshop the meme. But you know what I mean. I got to Photoshop her face onto this.
What happened during that interview with Nick Fuentes was that she used an age-old tactic that colonizers use, which was the divide and rule tactic. She pitted African Americans versus Africans when she spoke about how hard Africans work compared to how hard African Americans work. And she also used the term my Africans. Much of what Pearl says is determined.
Look, she explained already that was just a misreading. Banksy Calamity Jane. Yeah. Yes. Miss Banksy Calamity Jane. Oh, you don't say. I don't know. I can't do a southern American belle accent, but you guys get it. You know what I'm talking about. When she became the lady under the tomboy. I do think some have a bit of pearly fever. I don't know, man. But let me get to the bits that I want, because this is all like her colonial self.
By her management.
But yeah, she, by the way, Miss sort of spoke with that whole my Africans. She meant my I don't know, but I think she said that was wrong. She didn't mean to say it that way, and she certainly didn't mean anything bad about it.
She has said to me on many occasions that she shares with Candace Owens. Do you have a management who tell you what to say? What generally happens, in my personal point of view, and what I actually saw, was that she began to start paying people pittance. She began to start offering contracts to people that owned them, just like a colonial model.
Aha, okay, we're getting to the contract, but this is just where I wanted to be. Oh, wait a minute.
Case in point.
Wait a minute, get back.
Myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation about me signing to her contractually. And I want to make this very clear. I have never signed to the Just Pearly Things network. I have always been an independent. Pearl has known that, and I have known that. And so anytime I worked with Pearl, we had agreed a fee, and I worked for that fee.
Yeah, so you were an employee. But this is the problem with the British mindset. You have no entrepreneurial edge to you. You're an employee. You think like an employee. You want to be paid like an employee. You don't want to actually be entrepreneurial. You're not an entrepreneur. You're an employee. And this is the biggest downfall of British mindset, I think, is that we don't have that entrepreneurial American sort of spirit in us. We just want to have this safe, regular pay. And of course, that's not going to, what she offered you is not going to make sense to you, because you think security, you want holiday fucking pay, you want sick pay, you want maternity leave or paternity leave, you want I don't know, a pension plan and fucking what is it? Bupa healthcare or some bullshit benefits that come with. It's not a job. It's an opportunity. Just like Dana White from the UFC says, being in the UFC isn't a job. It's an opportunity. You get fame, you get recognized, and then you can use that as a platform to bounce to bigger and better things, to do other things, which will give you far more money than a paycheck. But unfortunately, as the great Top G would say, Sarah Garvey, you're a wagey. You're a broke wagey. You're looking for that wage. You don't think entrepreneurially. You don't think about the bigger picture. You just want that little bit of pay now. And that's the problem. That's why your channel stagnated for best part of 4 years, and you barely have scraped across the 100,000 subscriber mark in 4 or 5 years. And most of that is because of Pearl as well. If it wasn't for Pearl, you wouldn't have even crossed that line. You would have still been stuck at around 40,000 for the next 3 or 4 years. But we'll see. We'll see if you can make it to 200,000 before the year is out. I guarantee you won't. I guarantee Sarah Garvey won't make it to 200,000 before the year is out, because you just don't produce the content level that's required on YouTube. YouTube is a very demanding beast, and you're not going to put out that level of content. You got a little bit of recognition here, and once this new cycle is over, which is already going there, and other things take over the manosphere space and other people come into it, you're just going to go back to obscurity, and you're going to be hovering around your 100K again for the next 4 or 5 years. But yeah, you're right. Pearl doesn't know what she's doing, and she wanted to use you as a colonial wage slave. That's what she did. Yeah, you go with that narrative. I'm sure that will let you sleep well at night.
I have never been signed to the Just Pearly Things contracts. However, she has signed a few Africans, namely King Riches and Auntie Jenny. Now, I have no problem with a King Riches or an Auntie Jenny. However, if we look at the contracts that they signed, you would understand the reason why I use the term colonization and colonial. Now, myself and Pearl sat down to
No, it's not colonization. It's the fact that you are a wagee. You're a broke ass wagee, and you want to get wage. You want to get a wage. You don't want to have an opportunity to have a business. You're not a businessman. You're not an entrepreneur. You're a wagee. You're looking for a wage, and that's why you couldn't do this thing. That's why you haven't been able to do this thing. Now I'm talking to like 10 people right now. I don't really care. I am a wagee. I actually like my career, and I'm doing other things, but generally I'm a wagee, and I don't even deny it. I'm not an entrepreneur in that way, but at least I recognize what the fuck I am. I'm not delusional enough to think I'm an entrepreneur when I'm not. I'm a wagee, and I work for a wage, and I do this for a laugh, and for years my subscriber count has barely moved the dial, because YouTube has killed this channel anyway. That's why I'm pivoting to another channel. By the way, go to Hafez Reflects and subscribe and like. But either way, that's what you are, Sarah Garvey. You're a wagee, as the great Top G would put it.
Have a conversation, and she expressed to me that she wanted to do a new segment for her show. In that segment, she said that she would like me to present a topical news show on a day-to-day basis. So I said, okay, no problem. Talk to me. What are we talking about? And she said she would want me within her studio 4 days per week. I said, okay, from what time? She said from 10 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. And I said, okay, well, that is 7 hours. I said, so working 4 to 5 days a week for 7 hours is essentially a day job. I said to her, okay, so what is my guaranteed fee at the end of the month? What is the salary? And she looks at me and she says, we do not do guarantees and we do not do salaries.
Because you're a wagee and you don't recognize opportunities. You think that you have to get paid now. And yes, I get it. I understand 4 days a week, 7 hours is a heavy thing. I mean, you have to, still earn money. You have to earn a living. But if you actually think about your, the kind of uptake you may have, you may not, have a lot of money in the first couple of months, but within 2-3 months, Aunt Jenny is at 40K. She started with zero, with nothing. So if you make enough content and if you have the whole of Pearl's production behind you, you'll easily make enough money to live on within the first few months, without having a guaranteed wage. From what I've seen, if you guys know Social Blade, I don't know if you guys know what Social Blade is. Social Blade is a site that gives an estimate of what certain YouTube sites make. Let me bring you the Just Pearly Thing channel. This is Social Blade and its estimate of Just Pearly Thing's channel earnings. The estimates are between 14.7 thousand to 235.2 thousand pounds a month. A month is what Just Pearly Thing's channel is estimated. Yearly, 176.4 thousand to 2.8 million pounds a year is estimated what Just Pearly Thing's channel could make from ad revenues on YouTube. This is just estimated from ad revenues on YouTube. Okay? This is the problem with these wages. They don't think ahead. They don't look at the bigger picture. They want to get a wage now. They're not thinking ahead. That's the problem with your wages. With the wagey mindset. He wants the salary. He doesn't realize that these are the potential numbers that your channel could earn. These are the potentials of a successful YouTube channel. So unfortunately, that's the problem with your wages. The wages don't think ahead. They want to get paid now.
Said, so if you don't do guarantees and you don't do salaries, what is it that you actually do? And she said she does percentages. So I said, okay, cool. Well, what's the percentage? She said, Sarah, you're the high end, so you will get 70-30. So I said, fine, okay, let me listen. 70% goes to me and 30% goes to you. Now she looked at me and she said, no. 70% goes to me, Pearl, and 30% goes to me, Sarah Garvey. And that's when I started scratching my head. And I said, hang on a minute. So are you telling me that's a high-end contract for you?
Yes, yeah, but Sarah, 30%, let's say your channel brings in $200,000 a month. That's at the higher end of what Social Blade said. If your channel gets to a point where it's bringing in £200,000 a month, you're getting £60,000 a month. A month. You can't live off 60,000 a month, Sarah? Are you going to struggle with 60 grand a month, knowing that actually Pearl's putting up all the risk, all the costs of all the production costs? She's the one who's putting up the costs for all the editors, all the people who are going to clip your channel. They're going to distribute it in the clips. They're going to do all the work. You just sit and you talk into a mic for 7 hours, 4 times a week, and you can have the potential of earning £60,000 a month. Not to mention that even after that year or two, or whatever the length of the contract is, you'll be a free agent, and you can probably demand to have your channel assigned to you. They don't have any rights over your channel, so you retain your channel after your contract period is over. I'm sure Pearl would have agreed to that anyway, and she gave you a 6-month and a 1-year get out clause, so you could have quit the whole thing after 6 months, and she would still pay all her production team, all her editors and everything for that period out of her own pocket, even if your channel made nothing. So you could potentially have been in a position to earn £60,000 a month. That's 30% of £200,000 a month. That's the potential rates. Even half that, say 100k, you make 100k a month. You could still fucking make £30,000 a month. You can't live on £30,000 a month. What are you making now, Sarah? Are you making more than £30,000 a month? I doubt it. I doubt you even make 10.
She said yes. And I said, so are you saying that Just Petty Things Network has other people on low-end contracts? She said yes. I said King Rich's and Auntie Jenny? She said yes. I said, what's the low end? She said it's 10 to 15%. So essentially, she could be owning 80% of the content.
No, 85 to 90%. I think 10 to 15% she was talking about, not 10 to 20%. 85 to 90% of the earnings of the content, not the content, but the earnings of the content. Now you can negotiate that your channel and the content on your channel reverts back to you after the contract period, and you will continue those videos that you made will continue making passive income. By the way, this is all passive income after the time you shoot the video. So you shoot the video, and once it's done, it's uploaded. The YouTube is just going to keep putting ads on, and you're just going to keep making money for years and years to come. It's just passive income from that point onwards. So you could carry on earning that passive income for years to come without ever uploading any new videos even. Those videos will still have adverts on them. They'll still get some views, and they'll still make you some money. So yes, you could have discussed this and had a much better contract if it. And the far better side of this would have been if you actually retained your channel and all the content on it after the contract period was up, which means you would retain that channel and its subscriber counts, and you would also you would have obviously the fame that came off the back of that, which would mean you would make more content for yourself. You'd probably even have your own production team, depending on how successful your channel becomes. But these are all, of course, risks. It's a business, it's a gamble, it's entrepreneurship. They have risks, you know. But you're a wagey, and because you're a wagey, you don't see that. You don't envision those higher level sort of opportunities. You just want to get a wage. You think you would be better off if she just gave you a wage and kept your channel, whatever channel they built a channel for you from scratch, from zero, no subscribers, and they promoted and built it for you, and they kept the channel, but you got a wage. You got £2,000, £1,000 a show. That's £4,000 a week. You probably you'd be happy with that, right? You got £1,000 a show, £4,000, or not even, let's say £4,000 a month. I guarantee you, he would have taken a shitty deal like £4,000 a month, and he would have done 7 hours a day, 4 days a week, for a channel that Pearl would own afterwards, after he's finished with the contract, and she'd still make 10 times more than him, but he'd still be happy with £4,000 a month. I guarantee you, if she offered him £4,000 a month wage, he would have taken it. But he's complaining because he's only going to get 30% of a potential £200,000 a month YouTube channel. These guys, he's not thinking this shit through whatsoever.
Which is basically the monetized views on somebody's channel, and they only take home 15% of the money. She said yes. I said, Pearl, how long are these contracts for? She said 3 years. So I said, let me get this straight. You want to own me for 3 years to take 70% of my ad revenue, keep me in your studio from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening for 4 to 5 days a week, and you are not guaranteeing me any money. I said respectfully, for what reason would I work for your company? She said, because we have a great studio and we have great lighting.
And you have a massive production team that are going to put out 20 to 30 videos a day from your shows. They will clip it, they will edit it, they'll put subtitles on the shorts. You think all that is just fucking done out of thin air? You think that's Harry Potter magic? I fucking edit my videos. Some of my videos are only 3 or 4 minutes long back in the day, and they took 8 hours, one of them. One of them took 8 hours to fucking edit. I was in the chair for 8 hours. I'm not joking. I literally had coffee on the table, a coffee maker, jug. And I edited a video for 8 hours straight and got fuck all money for it. And a handful of views. This is the problem. Have you edited a decent video in your entire career? Because most of the videos I've seen are fuck all. You just sit in your car, you talk shit for 5 minutes, and then that's it. Or you've got some mics and you've got a few people, and you talk to them. But I don't know if you run that production. I don't know if you've ever used green screening or done any sort of, high-end editing, but it takes hours of work. It takes a long time, and unless you're so good at it and you've got it all so lined up in such a manner that you can just boom, 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 dish them out and put them out very quickly. And I've kind of done that with some of my videos where I've set everything up, where I've got all the clips and all the bits and all the bobs. But subtitling videos, things like that, those are not 2-minute work. They take a long time. Each 1-minute video could take an hour to subtitle and put graphics on. These videos don't just make themselves. To put out 30 videos a day, do you know how much work that takes? That takes 10 hours, 20 hours of work to put out 20 videos a day. Each video could take an hour to produce, with subtitles, thumbnails. Have you guys created thumbnails? I don't think anyone on this channel. I don't know. Some of you guys, Jack, maybe you've created some thumbnails. Some thumbnails could take an hour sometimes to create. because you want to have layers, you want to do all sorts of photoshopping. Thumbnails alone could take ages for each video. I mean, have you guys, has he ever done any kind of production work on a video to know how long it takes to produce a single video? And then times that by 20, 30 a day for YouTube to get the algorithm on your side. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. This guy has no idea. If he thinks that what Pearl is offering as a team to back him up with each video that he makes, you're just going to sit and talk into a mic for 7 hours from 10 in the morning till 5 at night, which is literally better than most jobs. Most jobs start at 9 or 8 in the morning. To sit and chat shit online, that is fucking easy money, dude. What job are you doing right now that's better than that? To sit and talk into a microphone. Literally, these people like James O'Brien and all these LBC cunts, they are the easiest fucking job. That asshole, oh my god, don't get me started on that James O'Brien, where he talks about how I don't think people who bricklayers and people who are fucking building buildings out in the streets in the world could do his job. Did you guys ever hear James O'Brien talk about how other people couldn't do his job? His job is so fucking difficult. The asshole who sits and talks shit on the microphone on the radio, that it's so hard and so stressful that people couldn't possibly know. That asshole thinks that doctors and surgeons have an easier job than he does. Oh my god. So this is what I mean, man. This is what I mean. These people don't understand. These people, you have no idea the level of intensity, level of work ethics you have to be able to churn out the level of videos that Pearl churns out. And of course, it's not because of Pearl, it's because of her team. She's giving you that team. That team comes with that contract. She's not just giving you a studio and lights. Any asshole could buy a bunch of lights off. I could set up a studio for you in 5 minutes from Amazon. Give me a few £100. Give me like 500 quid. And a couple of days. Well, 4 days. And I'll set up a fucking studio for you from Amazon. All ordered from Amazon. You can set up any dick can set up a studio. It's those editors. They're the gold in this situation. You have no idea how important and how valuable those editors are. The editing is everything in this game.
And we have great editors that will edit your stuff down. Now, I may be a lot of things, but I'm not an idiot.
Oh, Sarah. Oh, Sarah, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just said. Because from where I'm sitting, you absolutely are an idiot. You gave up on a... We'll see. No, I'll hold my hand up. No, you're not an idiot. Let's see where you are before the year is out. Let's see where Aunt Jenny and King Richards are before the year is out compared to where you are. You've had this channel for 4 or 5 years. Let me actually do a little thing here. We'll see exactly when he started the channel. Come on. Let's see. Holy shit. He's had this channel since 2007. He started YouTube when YouTube started. This is literally September 3rd, 2007. This is when YouTube fucking... Basically, I discovered YouTube in that period. In fact, probably later than that even. Maybe it was about... I discovered YouTube about 2007. He's had this channel since 2007, and he managed to cross the 100,000 subscriber threshold now. Pearl started her channel in 2020. Here, it tells you when the channel was created on... Here you go. Pearl's channel, user created April 6, 2020. Has 1.39 million subscribers. You go ahead and tell me who's the idiot, Sarah. Here's a girl. Here's some gangly, gingered, lanky American, white American girl who started a channel in 2020, managed to get to 1.39 million subscribers by 2023. You started your channel in 2007. You're not an idiot? That remains to be seen. The jury is out on that one as far as I'm concerned, my man. And I like you. I actually like Sarah Garvey. I'll be honest. None of this is actually, what I'm saying is because I don't like him or I don't like what he did, what he's saying about Pearl or any of that shit. I am actually somewhat indifferent about Pearl. I'm not a massive Uber fan or anything, but I'm just looking at this as a business opportunity. And Sarah, we'll see. We'll see. It remains to be seen. Your channel, you created it in 2007. Just remember that. It's like 10, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24. That's like 18 years you've had this channel, dude. 18 years you've had your channel. Pearl started hers in 2020. You're not an idiot. You said that, not me.
I may be cool, I may be calm, I may be collected, but I'm not a fool. And essentially, the colonial mindset of Pearl has people working on her quote-unquote plantation for absolute pittance. When
actually, someone asked when was his first video. I guess that makes sense because you could have a channel but never upload any videos for decades. I mean, the problem is having to go down the list is a very probably long list. I mean, if this channel's been around since 2007, I can imagine he's had a fair few videos on there. Hold on. Yeah, this is gonna kick ass. Having to go back. Oh my god. I'm sorry, this is gonna take a long time because the 7 years I have to go back, guys. Victoria, people are gonna hate you. I'm gonna blame you for this. This is purely on your shoulders. You asked that question, and now I have to do this shit. It's your fault. This is all your fault. We're doing this because of you. Everyone, just remember whose fault this is. She was the one who asked this question. Oh, don't worry about it now. No, we're too deep. We're in too deep to don't fucking worry about it now. No, we're doing this now. We're fucking doing this now. We're going to the end. We're going right to the fucking end of this shitty list of a shitload of videos. And the first one was 6 years ago. So he started uploading his first video 6 years ago. It's okay, we made it. We made it, people. 6 years he's been uploading videos. 6 years he's been uploading videos. And we have 100,000 subscribers. You're right, Sarah. You're not an idiot, mate. No. You know exactly what you're doing. You go, King. You go, King. You do you, boo. Go, King.
And a year ago, I suggested to her to look into exactly what colonization was, and she acted dumb.
Guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. And, I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was.
Okay, guys. I think I've sort of said my piece enough on this thing. I'm already, fucking several hours into this bullshit. What's the time? What's the time, pussycat? 1 hour and 47 minutes. I've been ranting for 1 hour and 47 minutes. Holy shit. This is the thing. A lot of people can't hold a stream on their own. Only very few people can actually do a whole stream on their own. And I like to think I'm one of those people. Because I personally don't think I hold the record compared to Raj. I mean, Raj is hands down the fucking king of doing 10-hour streams by himself. But nevertheless, for 1 hour 45 minutes of just me talking. Anyway, I'm gonna open the panel. Let's see if anyone wants to jump on. I don't know. But I'll continue playing this video to the end until someone jumps on. If nobody jumps on, we shall call it a night. And I will bid you all a very wonderful Easter weekend. But for now, we're going to keep going and see what happens.
I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about.
Now, I grew up in a time where there were brilliant R&B girl groups like TLC, and also brilliant R&B artists like Toni Braxton. They both sold millions and millions and millions of records, but they ended up broke. Why? Contracts. They were signed to contracts that did not favor them. And essentially, what Pearl is trying to do is come back in with the same contracts and do the exact same thing to the manosphere, and do the exact same thing to the Red Pill community. Why? Because Kevin Samuels left a gap. And Kevin Samuels' fan base was predominantly black men. And Pearl has come in there and attempted to be top of the food chain.
Whether she's attempted or not, she fucking became incredibly successful. She became incredibly successful with the formula she found. And it wasn't that she found the black people. She found the formula for YouTube. The YouTube algorithm. She appeased the YouTube gods, and the gods looked favorably upon her. That's all she did. This isn't... I don't think even the majority of her subscribers would come under the black banner. I mean, I don't know her analytics, but I guarantee you, there's no way. I mean, I don't even know if there's any way to even parse your analytics by race, because there is no race category in subscribing for YouTube. To open a YouTube account, I've never seen anywhere on it that says, what is your race? They don't parse people by race. So how the fuck would you even know that the black manosphere helped Pearl? She just played a very smart game with the YouTube gods, and they showered her with favors. You guys are pulling most of this black manosphere shit out of your ass. You guys, I don't know about anyone in the chat, but there is no way to know what the race of your subscribers are. There is no race category. There is no racial category on YouTube. When you subscribe, when you open an account, I could be a green fucking four-legged alien. YouTube won't fucking have a clue. There is no category to ask me where I'm from. I can assign my YouTube channel to be from Timbuktu, from China or Canada or America. I can assign it to anywhere I want. It doesn't enforce a region on me. No, but there is no race category. There's a region, there's a country category. So these people are purely pulling it out of their ass. If they're claiming that majority of Pearl's audience is black. They don't know. Nobody knows. I don't know how they would know. I can't fucking find it. If anyone knows how you can parse your subscribers by race, let me know, because I don't see shit on there. I see male, female, and regions, countries. That's all. I have never seen race on there.
I will not be a part of this game, and I will not be a part of this colony. I have always been an independent. If people in the UK...
Yeah, you go, lone wolf. You do that. You do your thing, lone wolf.
Who can
You're Ronan.
Actually say and watch all of my content can say that I've been around before Pearl even arrived in the UK. What would I look like signing my life away, essentially, 70% of all I own, to this woman?
You barely own shit. 70% of shit is still shit. You had nothing. If she helps you grow and become a successful multi-million subscriber YouTube channel, you will actually have made something. For 18 years you've had a YouTube channel. For 6 of those years you uploaded videos, and you still got shit. She made fucking a gold mine out of nothing in 3 years. In 3 years, she blew past what you tried to achieve in 6 years. Do you think that it might be worth having a gamble at what she's doing? You're not making shit, dude. Maybe at 100,000, maybe now he's making some money. I don't know, but after 6 years, you're not a YouTuber. You're not a successful YouTuber. It took you 6 years, and the majority of your subscribers came out of the last 1 or 2 years because of Pearl. Pearl gave you at least 60% of your subscriber count. So, I'm sorry, she doesn't owe you anything, and you honestly, whatever she offered you was the 30%. If it had made it into, if your YouTube channel made it over 1 million subscriber mark, that 30% is a shitload of cash. You would have no complaints for that 30%. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, you go do your thing, Ronan. You do your thing, Kang. You was Kangs, right? Wakanda forever.
Who just arrived in the UK the other day. She said to me that she's actually looking to sign more talent this year. Good for her. Good for the talent. But I hope they watch this video, and I hope they realize exactly what they will be signing. And I actually hope that this video makes her think about the ways, because essentially I had been with her from the beginning, and I had helped grow her channel. And if she could suggest this to me, somebody who helped her grow her channel, then you are nothing to her.
Yeah,
I have only given you around 30% of what I know.
Okay, I'm not gonna go into this part because this is like some behind the scenes shit, which is a little bit creepy. Recordings, outside of actual live stream times. I don't know. I mean, this goes into other shit. I'm not interested in that, and I'm not even sure, because I think Pearl kind of tried to take this video down. I think they striked it or something. I don't know, but either way, it is what it is. I'm not interested. This to me is a bit more petty. The whole thing is stupid anyway. Sarah, you should have negotiated the deal. I mean, the fact is that she gave you that contract, but you don't even tell me about what negotiations you could have, what wiggle room there was, what kind of deal you could have got out of that, and the fact that Pearl herself said she gave you 2 get out clause. That means after 6 months, if it didn't work out, you could quit the whole thing. And then after that, potentially after a year, if it still didn't make any money, you could have quit the whole thing. She gave you out as well. It wasn't a lockdown 3 years. You're indentured servant or something for 3 years. And to be perfectly honest, if she offers me that, I'll take it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Not making money for the first few months is going to be a bit of a bitch, because I'm not exactly like, I don't have that much savings to survive months after months. Some money has to come in for at least the first 3 months to begin with. But out of nothing, and the potentials that are involved and the production crew that she has behind her, hell, I'll even help with the fucking editing. But I don't think any of those offers are coming my way somehow. So, never mind. Either way, you should have thought about that deal. I think there's more opportunities involved in that than you realize, Sarah. It's a little bit short-sighted of you. So anyway, guys and girls, we're done with this. No one's jumping on the panel, so I don't see anyone jumping. Anyone? Bueller? Nope. No one's interested. It's a bit late, I know. It is a bit late, and most people just want to pass out. get in on it. I don't know. Maybe I'll send a little message out on Insta to Pearl. See if I catch her eye. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know. My life is great, never miserable. Suki. Oh, okay. You guys are talking to each other. Okay, guys and girls, thanks for showing up. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't really have much else. Everything I see on Pixeltrix at the moment is oh, this is a good video though. This is by Babylon B, and it is on YouTube.
Suggesting that
so I guess maybe YouTube will let it go.
there have been some recent reports suggesting that our vaccine is not safe. There are no side effects. In fact, I myself have been boosted 4 times.
Boosted 4 times. This notion that vaccines can have any kind of side effect is a right-wing
Babylon B are just the best.
conspiracy bolstered by MAGA Republicans, hate groups, and probably Russia. Look, would we vaccinate 7 billion people if there were side effects?
Side effects? Of course not. It's dangerous and, quite frankly, irresponsible.
Yes.
To blame the recent
Absolutely.
uptick of people suddenly
collapsing on our product. Healthy people have always suddenly
fallen to the ground from heart problems. This is totally
Normal. Nothing is.
wrong.
You gotta love the Babylon B guys. They're the best. They're the best. Unfortunately, half this stuff I can't really even talk about, and there's a bunch of stuff I have on my Twitter feed, which unfortunately I don't think I can even show on YouTube, because YouTube will just straight up screw me over. This is the thing. Twitter is now far more entertaining than YouTube, because the stuff I can show on the stuff I show on Twitter, the stuff that's available on Twitter, I just can't show on YouTube anymore. It's just too graphic. Here's the thing. I retweeted this. I suppose maybe I can show this. Let me see. You have to filter fucking things out. You gotta be very, very careful of what I am allowed to show on Twitter. Here you go. Here's an awesome thing. Power showers and dual flush toilets could be banned under government plans to save water. This is in Britain. I actually tweeted, in England, where it rains almost constantly, we need to save water. What are they doing in the Middle East? I can only think they are all dying of thirst. Yeah. What's happening in Saudi Arabia? What's happening in Kuwait, in Dubai, in Central African nations? If Britain, where it literally constantly rains, has to save water, we have to save water in Britain. That's what we have to do now. That's a thing in this country, in Britain. We have to save water. You have to be careful these days. Humor can get you in jail, especially effective ones. Yes, it's true. It is true. But yeah, chew on that for a while. That in Britain we now have to shut off power showers and other nonsense like that. Oh my God. I can't even show this one. Oh my God, I can't even show. There's a post on Facebook, and it says, "Can I get to know you?" There's a guy who posts, JM Raj posts, "Can I get to know you?" And a guy called Jamal Thomas, "I'm a boy." Oh, and Jamal writes, "Yeah, N-word, you gay? What bitch do you know named Jamal?" called Jamal. I'm sorry, that amused me a lot. If you get offended by being called a colonizer, oh, this video is for you. Oh man, I guess we're gonna have
say
to...
that you shouldn't face.
Okay, we're gonna have to play this one, guys, because it's too hilarious not to play. Let me go through it. Oh, there we go.
By being called colonizer. This one's for all the people who get offended by being called colonizer, so if that's not you, you can keep scrolling. The rest of you, I don't ever want to see or hear you ever again say that you shouldn't face the consequences for what your ancestors did. You should, because in this exact moment, you're benefiting off of a system that was built by your ancestors because of what they did. At the same moment, natives like myself and even younger generations.
Oh, she's a Native American. I think someone should tell this Native American that Native Americans owned black slaves. I want to see the look on this Native American's face when she realizes her ancestors owned slaves. I bet she doesn't know.
Generations are still feeling the repercussions of what your ancestors did. So do not, I repeat, do not come onto my page or any other native's page and say that you shouldn't face the consequences of what your ancestors did, because that is complete BS.
Are you going to face the consequences of your ancestors owning slaves? I bet you're not. I bet you're not going to face those consequences. What's this? What did I repost here? Keir Starmer says women can have a penis as he finally stops fence sitting to side with the trans activists. Oh, by the way, guys, Posey Parker, or aka Kelly J. Keane, she's running in Keir Starmer's district for as a political party. She's going to set up a political party, I think something about women something, and she's going to run against him in his district, in his area, in order to pose the question to him, what is a woman? And he's already said women can have penises. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Women can have penises. Did anyone see that coming like 20 years ago? If someone 10 years ago asked you, women can have penises, would you have thought that one day that would actually be a legitimate question? That was a troll. That, I swear, I think these people are trolling us to this very day. I think this is a troll that just got a little bit out of hand. That just took wings and just went slightly on its own. I can't believe this. I mean, if an alien race lands on this planet right now, knowing the basic makeup of human beings, they would just kill. They would destroy the planet. I mean, they would literally blow this place up, because they're like, no, this has gone wrong. This planet has gone wrong. It needs to be erased from the face of the universe. Have you seen Matt Walsh interaction? Yes, I saw that one as well with the Liberty in Texas. I think it was New Mexico University. Yeah, I saw that one. That was fantastic. And he said if a trans man comes to you, a trans woman, a man that's transitioned to become a woman, he asked this like paramedic or whatever this person was. He asked her, if a man comes to you and says they're having a miscarriage, would you check to see if they are having a miscarriage? If a trans individual, male to female, comes and asks you to examine them because they feel they're having a miscarriage, you'd have to check. You'd have to check to see if they're having a miscarriage. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, aliens are going to wipe this planet of all human life and just let the dinosaurs back. They're gonna bring the dinosaurs back because we clearly failed. The human race has failed. This experiment has gone wrong. It needs to be wiped clean. Put the dinosaurs back. Start again. Maybe in the 65 million years they'll throw another asteroid and see what comes out of that shit. This whole human thing is just wrong. It's gone wrong. The aliens are like, we clearly made a mistake. We should tweak the DNA for the next time round. Fucking hell. It's what's his name? Assange, Julian Assange. This guy looks like he's gonna die. He is in a bad way, man. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what, guys. I'll leave you with this meme. Well, I'll leave you with this great meme. The world is like a ride in an amusement park. And when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. The ride goes up and down, round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud. And it's fun for a while. Many people have been on the ride a long time, and they begin to wonder, hey, is this real? Or is this just a ride? And other people who have remembered, and they come back to us and say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because it's just a ride. And you know what we do with those people? We kill them. Kill him, shut him up. This has to be real. Look at my bank account. Look at the froze on my head. Look at my children. This has to be real. But it's just a ride. Anyway, guys, hope you guys find a good ride tomorrow and for the rest of this wonderful bank holiday weekend if you're in the UK. And yeah, just remember, it's just a ride. Don't take it too seriously. Try to have a laugh. Try to have a giggle. And yeah, have yourself a wonderful weekend. I'm gonna play something called Snowfall Butterflies. I have no idea what the hell this song is, but it's free from YouTube, so it's copyright free. Before whoop, hold on. What's going on? Where am I? Is this playing? Am I hearing things? Let me see, can I still hear things?
No.
Okay, I can hear that, that's for sure. Of course I can't hear this. The volume is down. Okay, boys and girls, let me switch up to this. Guys, it's been awesome. Love you all. Yeah, remember to like, subscribe, go and here we go. Go and subscribe to my new channel, Hafez Reflects, because because we want to make that channel bigger. So go subscribe, like, comment. This video will be available, this live stream, on Hafez Reflects for replay. It will not be available on this channel. So if you want to watch this, or if you missed the beginning or anything like that, then go to Hafez Reflects, because I will private it after this stream is finished and upload it there. And that's just to get your lazy asses to go over there and subscribe. Just go over there and fucking subscribe. It's literally free, and it'll take you a second. Hell, I'll even post the goddamn link in the chat here for your lazy convenience. Go over there, do your shit. Anyway, yeah, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and I will see you laters. Peace. And let us play this Snowfall Butterflies and see what that's all about.
you.